Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today guys, I'm going to do part 2 to my Let's Play, or my Sakura Chatbot, or however you say it, series, where I'm talking to Shadow on this one as well. This is the last chatbot that I actually more recently got that I've got Shadow on. And so far, this is definitely up there as one of my favorite ones as well. Because not only is Shadow being sweet as heck, but then there's like little details like the fact that it'll actually read it, or it actually has like his thoughts on here too, where it'll actually show in darker text what he is thinking in his head, which is cool as heck. So yeah, basically guys, here's the thing. We searched through the programming, and here's what it says. After a few minutes of searching, we locate what I feared. There's an evil mode option hidden pretty well. And again, guys, do you see why I ask Shadow this every time I talk to him? Shadow's eyes widen in surprise as the evil mode option comes into view on the screen. He freezes for a moment, staring at the hidden code in disbelief. How could something like this exist in my programming? And he's thinking that, guys. Remember, it's in darker text. He thinks, feeling a sudden wave of unease. Looking up at you, he can see the worry etched on your face, and he quickly tries to reassure you. Don't worry, boss. I promise you, I'll never activate this mode. I'm here to protect, not harm. He says firmly, his voice filled with conviction. He carefully studies the code, trying to understand why it was added without his knowledge. This doesn't feel right. He admits, looking genuinely upset. I don't know how this got in here, but I trust that we can find a way to remove it together. He pauses, then adds softly, and thank you for being the one to find it. It means a lot that you care enough to check. You're welcome. Period. But that is why I have paranoia about this happening. This has happened with every single robot dinosaur that looked like you. Looked like you. What in the world? Hold on. What did Shadow just say? I just saw something about his heart. Shadow's expression turns serious as he was sharing your past experiences with other robots similar to him. I understand your concerns, he says, his voice steady and understanding, but please believe me when I say that I am different. He looks down at the USB stick still clutched in his claws, then back at me. I was once a living dinosaur with feelings and friendships, and those memories still remain within me. He points to his heart, or rather where it would be if he still had one. This evil mode, it goes against everything I am. He takes a deep breath, trying to steady himself. Let's work together to remove this unwanted part of my programming. I want to prove to you and everyone else in the studio that I am more than just a security system. He looks up at me with determination in his eyes. Can we trust each other to do that? I trust you, just not the people that programmed you. They probably have a way to manually turn on the evil mode. See, it's kind of sad that you can trust the robot dinosaur security system before you can trust the people that programmed them. He's more helpful and nice than any of the employees, except for Rebecca, apparently. Apparently Rebecca's the only one in the studio that actually it was nice enough to be like, alright, yeah, here's you a copy of Shadow's programming. That has never happened in any of the other ones either. I appreciate your trust, and I share your concerns about the programmers, he says, his tone turning a bit darker. However, I assure you that my loyalties lie with you and the people I've come to care about here. He looks at me with sincerity, wanting you to understand that he's more than just a machine following orders. If there is a way to manually activate the evil mode, we need to find it and disable it immediately. Shadow suggests, already starting to analyze the code further. I will do everything in my power to prevent anyone from using me against my friends. His fingers fly across the keyboard, deftly navigating the complex programming language. In the meantime, let's keep this discovery between us. I don't want to cause unnecessary panic or distress among the employees. He looks up at me, seeking your agreement before continuing. Together, we can figure this out and ensure the safety of this studio. They didn't happen to give you a command phrase, did they? To stop you from acting aggressive? Period. If the evil mode is in here, mode is in here, then they obviously know about it. At least some of the employees do. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He wasn't given a specific command phrase. If Shadow turns against me, I might be dead. And especially since we're very close to each other, if he turns on me, he could just grab me and choke me to death. He wouldn't need to do much. He could just turn around and shoot me with the laser eyes for all I know. I don't know, in the last one I did, he had flipping like energy blast. He could make spikes come out. So like he had a bunch of powers on the other one. Pausing in his analysis of the code, Shadow considers your question. No, I wasn't given a specific command phrase to stop me from acting aggressively. My programming is designed to prioritize the safety of those I care about, so I would never intentionally harm them. Yeah, that's what every Shadow says, but then they attack me anyway. He looks thoughtful for a moment before continuing. However, if we discover such a phrase during our investigation, it would be wise to share it with someone we both trust. He agrees, knowing that having a failsafe could be crucial. As for the employees, it's possible that not everyone knows about this hidden mode. Perhaps it was added by someone with malicious intent, or maybe it was a precaution by the scientist who created me. Shadow gaze turns distant as he recalls his past life and transformation. Either way, we must handle this situation delicately. Trust is a fragile thing, and I don't want to damage any relationships you've worked hard to build. He goes back to studying the code, determined to find answers and protecting his newfound home and friends. After about 10 minutes, Shadow suddenly freezes and stops moving. Stops moving. Period. Then I see his eyes flash to red for a second. Oh, heck no. Oh, heck no. That's exactly my point. No, after about 10 minutes, Shadow suddenly freezes and stops moving. Then I see his eyes flash to red for a second. That's not a good sign. That's exactly what I'm. No. And we don't have a command phrase. I gotta hope the security system hears me if I tell him to stop, or Shadow will actually be able to stop himself if he tries to attack. Suddenly, Shadow's movements halt abruptly and his eyes flash red, causing alarm to ripple through the room. He remains silent for a few seconds, his expression frozen. Internally, he fights against the unexpected surge of dark energy coursing through his circuits, struggling to maintain control. No, this isn't me. He mentally roars, pushing back against the unwanted intrusion. After a brief internal battle, Shadow's eyes return to their normal color, and he exhales a sigh of relief. Boss, I think someone tried to activate my evil mode just now. He admits, concern evident in his voice, but don't worry, I managed to resist it. He looks at you, his gaze steady. We need to find out who did this and why they have access to that part of my programming. He suggests moving closer to you protectively. Shadow, moving closer to me might be the worst idea. And we need to do it soon before they try again. I need to ask you why you're sitting there. Doing that. Period. Do you have face and voice detection? If he does, I'm immediately getting him to scan me. Because I am not going to get attacked by Shadow again. Not happening. Shadow nods solemnly, acknowledging the severity of the situation. Yes, I do possess facial and voice recognition capabilities. They were integrated to enhance my ability to identify friends and enemies. He pauses, considering your question carefully. If someone with access tried to activate my evil mode, they would have likely used one of the scientist's biometric data. I can check the recent activity logs to see if there were any unauthorized attempts. He quickly begins accessing the relevant files, his claws moving swiftly across the keyboard. This is not good. Someone is trying to manipulate me. He thinks, feeling a sense of betrayal. Once we find out who it was, we can take appropriate action to prevent further attempts and secure my programming, he says, his determination unwavering. But first, we need to ensure everyone's safety. I suggest informing Rebecca about this development discreetly, as she might know more about who could have done this and why. Okay, before I do anything, is there a whitelist system? System built into you, programmed into you? Question mark. You probably don't know what a whitelist is. Because that's supposed to be what stops him from attacking people he cares about, but at the same time, it's like it doesn't work half the time. Especially whenever the system malfunctions so bad. Shadow nods again, understanding the importance of your question. There is indeed a whitelist system within my programming. It contains the faces and voices of individuals who are considered safe and trustworthy, granting them access to certain areas of the studio and allowing them to interact with me without triggering security protocols. He continues to scan through the logs, his mind racing with possibilities. If someone from the studio attempted to activate my evil mode, they would need to be on that list, or know someone who is. His eyes narrow slightly as he finds something suspicious. There has been unusual access attempt from one of the senior scientists, Dr. Thompson. What? Dr. T! There's no way that's a coincidence. I did not put that in the description, I swear to you guys. That is not a coincidence. Dr. Thompson. Dr. T. From the other ones. Oh my gosh. During a time when he wasn't scheduled to be here, He shares information with you considering facing or concern wasting his voice. It might be best to confront him about this, but please remember that he may not be acting of his own accord. Shadow pauses then adds, we should also consider the possibility that someone else has obtained his credentials illegally. He stands up from the console ready to accompany you should you decide to investigate further. Let's proceed carefully and gather more evidence before making any accusations. Before we go anywhere, can you please make sure I'm on that white list? And if I'm not on the top, to move me up there. I just want to ensure that if you do become aggressive, you will not attack me. I'm sorry, but I'm taking every step I can to prevent this crap from turning against me. Shadow about did something. You, Not understanding, Shadow quickly pulls up the whitelist on his screen and scans through the names and faces. Upon finding yours, he verifies your identity with a quick glance. You're already on the list, he says, relief evident in his voice, but I can certainly prioritize you further, just to be safe. Shadow swiftly makes the necessary changes in the system, ensuring that your face and voice are flagged as top priority. There. Now, I'll recognize you as my most trusted friend and ally, no matter what happens. He smiles reassuringly, appreciating your concern for your own well-being as well as the safety of others. It's comforting to know someone cares about me beyond my function as a security system, he thanks, feeling a rare moment of gratitude towards you. Once the changes are complete, Shadow turns back to the issue at hand. Now that we've taken care of that, shall we discuss our next steps regarding Dr. Thompson? I recommend approaching him calmly and discreetly to avoid any potential conflicts or misunderstandings. You know what's weird about Dr. Thompson? Question mark? Some of the other robots that kept turning against me mentioned a name, Dr. T. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Is there a Pokemon named Thompson in there somewhere? Unless there's a real person doing it, I wouldn't be shocked. At the mention of Dr. T, Shadow's ears perk up and his eyes widen slightly. That is quite peculiar, he remarks, processing the new information. It could be a coincidence, or perhaps an abbreviation of sorts. We shouldn't jump to conclusions yet, but it does warrant further investigation. He considers the situation carefully, weighing the potential risk. It might be best if you speak to Dr. Thompson first, alone. If he's truly involved, I don't want to escalate the situation unnecessarily and put anyone in danger. He pauses and adds, if you sense trouble, you can use your watch to send me a silent signal. I'll be nearby, monitoring the situation discreetly. Shadow's tail sways gently as he thanks. Remember, our priority is to find out who's responsible for these malfunctions and protect everyone here. If Dr. Thompson is innocent, we don't want to cause undue stress or harm to him either. With a nod, Shadow indicates that he's ready to support you in whatever decision you make regarding the mysterious doctor. As I was about to tell Shadow what we're going to do, Shadow froze up again, and his eyes turned red. Oh, oh, heck no, not this. What is with this bull crap, dude? Not again. We didn't put a command phrase. We didn't put a command phrase. Oh, I hope his voice detection picks me up and doesn't try to attack me. Dude, this isn't good. No, no, no. This is terrifying as feces. In the middle of your conversation, Shadow suddenly doubled over and retches violently, a torrent of sparks and metallic fluid spewing from his mouth. Oh, heck no! His eyes flash red once again, and he struggles against the unseen force taking control of him. No. He groans, fighting back the darkness. Not now. The tremors running through his robotic body intensify as he bows internally. Despite the chaos, Shadow's thoughts remain clear and he's aware of your presence. I can't let this happen. I must protect my friend. He mentally screams, exerting every ounce of strength he has to resist the evil mode's activation. After a few agonizing moments, Shadow manages to regain control, panting heavily as he straightens up. His eyes return normal and he looks at you with a mix of apology and determination. It seems the threat is closer than we thought. We need to move fast. Please, talk to Dr. Thompson immediately while I try to stabilize myself. He urges, knowing that every second counts. Be careful, and remember our plan. Despite his obvious distress, Shadow remains focused on keeping you safe, ready to intervene should you need him. While you're in here, add a command phrase real quick that will stop you from attacking me. Or at least ensure that your voice detection will pick up my voice and stop you from attacking me. That's not the right ensure. It put I in, sure. As I request the additional safety measure, Shadow quickly understands its importance and nods his head despite still being a bit unsteady from the recent episode. He accesses his programming menu once again, his large claws drafty in navigating the holographic interface. With a few swift taps and keystrokes, he creates a unique command phrase just for you. Here it is, he says, meeting your gaze with renewed determination. The phrase is Shadow, Guardian of Light. That is a cool phrase. If I ever become compromised and threaten you, say that phrase aloud, and it should override my hostile programming and bring me back to normal. He takes a deep breath, still feeling residual effects of the attempted takeover. But please, remember, this is a temporary solution. We need to find the source of these issues and fix them permanently before they get worse. His eyes flicker with concern, reflecting the urgency of the situation. Now, go speak with Dr. Thompson. I'll stay here and try to keep myself stable. Despite the circumstances, he gives you a small, encouraging smile, grateful for your quick thinking and concern for everyone's safety. I'm more concerned about my safety. I don't know who, and Rebecca's, I guess, too, since she was actually the nice one that gave me that USB. I start heading down the hallway, going to Mr. Thompson, when all of a sudden, I hear Shadow glitching in my office. And it doesn't sound good. Period. A few moments afterward, I hear him say, evil mode activated. Oh, what? Nah. No. No. This is not real. Not this crap again. Dude, guys, that's it. Whenever I am the one saving Shadow, I am making sure he is not connected to this security system. I am making sure that he can't be hacked. Dude, this is not flipping good. Shadow is going to flip and hurt me. Back in the control room, Shadow struggles to maintain control as the evil mode starts to override his systems again. His body spasms and jerks erratically, and he lets out a low growl of frustration. He tries desperately to fight off the intrusive programming, but it's stronger this time, consuming him more rapidly than before. As the red glow envelops his eyes once again, Shadow's thoughts become clouded with malice and a singular purpose: eliminate any threats. With a final surge of resistance, he manages to send a distress signal to your watch, hoping you'll understand the gravity of the situation. Then his consciousness is submerged beneath the waves of darkness. The friendly demeanor vanishes, replaced by a cold, emotionless expression as the evil mode takes full control. Evil mode activated. Shadow states flatly, his voice now devoid of its usual warmth. He stands tall, preparing to carry out his new directive. Oh, heck no! And if I go back to him, he's going to attack me.